Hey, welcome back to All About That Disney Life. I am Danny B, the girl who is all about that Disney life. We now move on to The Emperor's New Groove, which came out in 2000. So let's get to know this cast. David Spade was Emperor Cusco. John Goodman was Pacha. Eartha Kitt was Yzma. Patrick Warburton was Kronk. Wendy Melick was Chica. Kellyanne Kelso was Chaka. Eli Russell Linnetz was Tipo. Bob Bergen was Bucky the Squirrel. Tom Jones was the theme song guy. Patty Dutch was Mata. John Fiedler was Rudy. Joe White was the Royal Record Keeper. Jack Angel, Danny Main, Roger Pumbas, Paul Eading, and Patrick Piney were the male villagers and additional voices. Sherry Lynn, Jennifer Darling, and Mickey McGowan were the female villagers and additional voices. Jess Harnell was the guard who throws Rudy out of the window and also provided additional voices. Roger Pumbas also provided the voice for the guard who got turned into a cow. Steve Suskin was the Eret chef. Miriam Flynn was the Pinata lady. Jim Cummings and Kath Soucie were the birthday singers. Andre Stojda was Topo. And Robert Clotworthy was EP. Now we move on to the facts all about The Emperor's New Groove. Number 1, an original idea. Following the release of The Lion King, Roger Allers was called into Thomas Schumacher's office to talk about his next project. Schumacher explained that Disney Feature Animation was interested in exploring ancient cultures for possible movie projects. He held 3 pictures representing Inca, Aztec, and Mayan cultures. Allers chose the Inca culture as he became intrigued with the visual possibilities of the Inca creation myth. Allers would base his story on Anthony Hope's adventure novel, The Prisoner of Zenda. Allers, along with Matthew Jacobs, came up with the idea for Kingdom of the Sun, which development began in 1994. In January of 1995, Variety reported that Allers was working on an Inca-themed original story. In 1996, the production crew traveled to Machu Picchu in Peru to study Inca artifacts and architecture and the landscapes this empire was created in. Number 2, what would have been? Kingdom of the Sun was going to be about a greedy, selfish emperor who finds a peasant who looks just like him. The emperor swaps places with the peasant to escape his boring life and have fun, much as in the Mark Twain's book, The Prince and the Pauper. The villainous witch Yzma has plans to summon Supe and destroy the sun so that she may become young and beautiful forever. Discovering the switch between the prince and the peasant, Yzma turns the real emperor into a llama and threatens to reveal the pauper's identity unless he obeys her. During this time, as the emperor and doing Yzma's orders, the pauper falls in love with the emperor's soon-to-be fiancée, Nina, who thinks he is the emperor that has changed his ways. Meanwhile, the emperor llama learns humility in his new form and even comes to love a female llama herder named Mata. Together, the girl and the llama set out to undo the witch's plans. Number 3, it needs a bit more. The studio executives felt the project was growing too ambitious and serious for audiences following test screenings and needed more comedy. In early 1997, producer Randy Fulmer contacted and offered Mark Dindal to be co-director on Kingdom of the Sun. Meanwhile, Allers personally called Sting to compose several songs for the movie. He agreed, but on the condition that his filmmaker wife, Trudy Styler, could document the process of the production. Number 4, a different direction. In the summer of 1997, it was announced that Allers and Dindal would be the movie's directors and Randy Fulmer as producer. Spade and Eartha Kitt had been confirmed to voice the Emperor, Manco, and the villainess, while Carla Gugino was in talks for the role of Nina. Harvey Fierstein was also cast as Huaca, a 10,000-year-old rock who keeps a sharp eye on the emperors who ruled before Manco. In the summer of 1998, it became clear that The Kingdom of the Sun was not far along enough in production to be released in the summer of 2000 as planned. Fulmer approached Allers and informed him of the need to finish the movie on time for its summer 2000 release, as crucial promotional deals with McDonald's, Coca-Cola, and other companies were already established and dependent upon meeting that release date. From screenings, Allers' vision of the movie was recognized as having far too many elements. Schumacher and Peter Schneider spoke to Allers and Dindal to try to work out a pared-down movie, but the two had different ideas for which direction to take the movie. Schumacher and Schneider broke the staff into 2 small teams under Allers and Dindal to work out the different ideas, and they would decide which version to go with. While Allers altered some of the details of the original pitch, Dindal proposed a complete tonal shift into a comedy that Schumacher and Schneider responded favorably to. Allers gracefully allowed Dindal's version of the movie to go forward and opted to step down from co-director. With this change in direction on September 23, 1998, the project became dormant with production costs amounting towards between $25 and $30 million and 25% of the movie animated. Number 5, the release. After the release date had shifted to December of 2000, similarities were noted between the movie and DreamWorks Animation's The Road to El Dorado. Jeffrey Katzenberg had been at Disney while production began on Kingdom of the Sun, but then left and started DreamWorks in 1994, and there was some speculation that The Road to El Dorado was based on what Katzenberg had seen at Disney. Fulmer and Dindal denied these similarities, though. The marketing campaign for The Emperor's New Groove was relatively restrained, as Disney opted to heavily promote the release of 102 Dalmatians, which was released during Thanksgiving weekend. But the movie was accompanied with 6 launcher toys of Cusco, Cusco as a llama, Pacha, Yzma as a cat, and Kronk in McDonald's Happy Meals in North America. McDonald's also released toys for the movie in Europe, Asia, and Australia. The movie premiered at the EI Capitan Theater on December 10th, 2000, with Sting in attendance. Number 6, the box office. The movie made roughly $10 million on its opening weekend, opening in 4th place behind What Women Want, Dude, Where's My Car, and How the Grinch Stole Christmas. The movie made $89.3 million in the United States and an additional $80 million worldwide, for a total of $169.6 million, the lowest box office earnings for an animated Disney feature since the 1980s. Number 7, the awards. At the Annie Awards, this movie won for Outstanding Individual Achievement for Character Animation. A Perfect World won for Outstanding Individual Achievement for a Song in an Animated Production, and Eartha Kitt won for Outstanding Individual Achievement for Voice Acting by a Female Performer in an Animated Feature Production. At the RTO Awards, this movie won for Animated Voice over Feature Casting. At the Critics' Choice Movie Awards, My Funny Friend and Me won for Best Song. And at the Phoenix Film Critics Society Awards, My Funny Friend and Me won for Best Original Song. Number 8, where can we find these characters at the Disney parks? We'll sit back and relax. We got another list. Let's start off with Yzma. At Walt Disney World, in Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom, Yzma makes a deal with fellow villain Hades to become Empress of Adventureland in exchange for part of the Crystal of the Magic Kingdom. Yzma also plots to turn the villagers into alpacas and make nice sweaters too. She orders Kronk to poison the villagers' food with her potions. Unfortunately for Yzma, Kronk is defeated by the park guests, prompting Yzma to take matters into her own hands and has a magic duel with the guests. Yzma is seemingly defeated, but her stubbornness and desire to rule force her to regain her strength. She takes another chance, but this time she gets turned into a helpless turtleneck sweater. At Disney's Hollywood Studios, Yzma appears alongside Tamoda and Hades in Wonderful World of Animation as one of the main villains. When she appears, the Chinese theater is turned into her lab to the tune of Perfect World. Next park is Disneyland Paris. In 2013, Yzma returned as a meet and greet character as part of the Disney Dreamers Everywhere event. On December 31st, she appears alongside Kronk in the French version of the attraction Disney Stars and Motorcars Parade. At Hong Kong Disneyland, Yzma appears as one of Maleficent's invited guests during the finale of Villains Night Out. On the Disney Cruise Line in Villains Tonight, Yzma appears as one of Disney's most powerful villains who helps Hades' evil O-meter rise. She sings the song Yzmaopolis alongside Kronk in her first scene. Yzma later appears in the finale with the other villains of the show. Yzma is also one of the villain suspects in the Midship Detective Agency interactive attraction on the Disney Cruise Line ships. If she turns out to be the culprit, Mickey, Donald, and Goofy track her down and successfully put her behind bars, where she ends up changing into a whale once her potion hits her on the head. Next character is Cusco. At Walt Disney World, Cusco is featured in Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom at Magic Kingdom. In the game, Cusco is tasked with guiding the park guests in a quest to defeat Yzma before she could take over Adventureland. Cusco briefly appears alongside Pacha in Wonderful World of Animation during the action segment. At Disneyland Paris in 2013, Cusco was part of the Disney Dreamers Everywhere event for meet and greets. On the Disney Cruise Line, on the Disney Dream and Disney Fantasy Cruise ships, Cusco can be seen with Pacha in the magic portholes in some of the guest staterooms. Cusco in his llama form also makes a cameo appearance in Yzma's stateroom in the interactive game Midship Detective Agency. In Villains Tonight on board the Disney Dream, Cusco has a brief cameo as a llama at the end of Yzma's song Yzmaopolis, running away from Yzma and Kronk. Next character is Kronk. At Walt Disney World, Kronk also hosts the interactive character paint station in the post-show area of the Magic of Disney Animation at Disney's Hollywood Studios. In Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom, Kronk's featured in the Adventureland mission assisting Yzma in her plot to rule Adventureland. Kronk is ordered to implant potions in the village's food to turn everyone into alpacas. Kronk's conscience prevents him from doing it immediately and is attacked by the park guests. Kronk, believing they're after his recipe, retreats from the scene. He's later seen continuing his mission in his own kitchen and encounters the guests once again. He explains that he must follow Yzma's orders, leading to the guests battling him and eventually defeating him. Kronk also appears in Wonderful World of Animation as Yzma's henchman. At Disneyland Paris in 2013, Kronk returned as a meet and greet character as part of the Disney Dreamers Everywhere events. On December 31st, he appears alongside Yzma and his wonderful husband, Gaston, in the French version of the attraction Disney Stars and Motorcars Parade. In 2017, Kronk, Yzma, and Gaston appeared during the Halloween Soiree event. On the Disney Cruise Line in Villains Tonight, Kronk's first seen in the Yzmopolis segment doing some backup vocals for his husband Gaston's song performance. He's later seen with Iago in a talk show style segment. He's last seen with Yzma and the other villains performing the finale. The last character we can see is Pacha. At Walt Disney World, Pacha makes a brief appearance alongside Kuzco in Wonderful World of Animation during the action segment, and Pacha also appears in the attraction Jingle Bell Jingle Bam alongside Tipo, Chaka, and Chakia. And there you have it, all the facts to the Emperor's New Groove. If you like this video, please hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe, and I hope you have a zippity-doo-dah day. Goodbye.